If we look at data analytics, I have 4 major steps that we're going to go through. The first one, we're going to talk about identifying questions. Okay, so what is it that we're trying to figure out here? Okay, there's some sort of need, whether it's a financial need, a management need, etc. Also, while we're doing this, we want to hypothesize what it is that we're looking for. Okay, if we're trying to do some forecasting analysis, for example, to try and project what our profit will be next period, we have to know what that's going to look for. So when we get into the data, we don't lose sight of this answer for all these really interesting correlations and patterns that we're finding within it. Okay, and then we also want to identify some sort of target. So we may use this to find a target interest rate or rate of return on a capital investment project, or a target in terms of customers. We want to identify the customers that are highly profitable so that we can target them specifically. Okay, you know, I like video games. Video games are analytics machines. They are checking everything that you do. You have these free-to-play programs like Fortnite and Apex Legends, these little, shooters and things like that, or even games on your phone, Stardew Valley or Clash of Clans. Okay, so they make money by advertisements, but they also make money by figuring out how to get people to want skins and loot boxes and other things that you actually pay real money for, in-app purchases. You all may be conscious people who say, it's a waste of money. I'm not going to pay, $1 for a little crystal that's going to get me to get my farm to grow in 5 minutes instead of 5 hours. But there are people that will do that. And so the video games are looking for these whales, the people who will spend tens of thousands of dollars on Stardew Valley because they have a compulsion to do that. It's a bit abusive, but, that's how they make money. All right, so we're identifying those questions. How can we entice people to buy our product, improve our product, and so forth? Once we do that, we have to master the data. Mastering the data means that we are going to understand where the data is located, where to look. We're going to go through a process called ETL, for extract, transform, and load. And we are going to deal with major data quality issues. So how do we make sure that the garbage that's in the system doesn't affect our analysis? Because a lot of data is really bad. People type in the wrong information or they fake the data. Have you ever filled out a web form when you lied on it because you don't want the spam email from them, or you don't want, or you want to track who they're sending it to? These are data quality issues. It really severely impacts my ability to use that data effectively. Then we are going to perform the test, identify the models that we're going to use, and we're going to address the results. Okay, so we're looking at different types of analytics. We have descriptive analytics. We're going to try and describe what's going on. Diagnostic analytics, where we compare the results. We'll talk more about this next week. Predictive, try to predict the future, and prescriptive. Prescriptive analytics is the realm of artificial intelligence, where we look at an outcome and we make a recommendation of what action to take. Okay, then we're going to learn about communicating results and track outcomes. Okay, this gets into the point of visualizations. So using tools to be able to create visuals that will entice or motivate people to take action. Being able to use plain language to describe complicated data relationships for people who are not fluent in data, and improving analytics as we go on, coming up with better ways or to get data or to run the analysis. So of these first two are what we're talking about today. The next two we're going to talk about next week.